Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Celebrity Natal Charts. Today, we're going to be looking at the natal chart of Gwen Stefani from Fullerton, California, United States, October 3rd, 1969 at 2:09 p.m. Birth time accuracy excellent. So this is going to be like one of those, it might be, I feel like if I say that it's going to be a super long video, that it'll actually be a short video. But I wanted to mention, especially with like Gwen Stefani, because I didn't even realize that I had selected her because I'd taken a break in between doing this one and Jeff Goldblum for almost like 2 months. Oh yeah, Beautiful Souls, Grab a Beverage, something like that. Like I completely forgot my intro and everything. But I think that I just wanted to mention like Gwen Stefani's chart is so interesting because when I was doing like Justin Bieber and a bunch of other singers, just like based on their natal chart, I was like, they're gonna like turn over to the Lord. And Gwen Stefani has had a very like culturally controversial career with like cultural purpose. I mean, it's like a thing. Like my thing about Gwen Stefani was her aesthetic was, after doing No Doubt and being part of a ska band, her aesthetic was like old Hollywood. Like she was trying to go for like a Marilyn Monroe thing. And vintage old Hollywood is all about whitewashing global cultures, right? So it's obviously archaic and something that you don't want to do. It doesn't really make sense anymore because, you have so many different people. But after I guess like the backlash of all of that, of being somewhat of an Al Jolson, it's like, okay, well, who's gonna have my back? Especially like you look at Donald Trump and Justin Bieber, like Diddy parties and Jeffrey Epstein's Island. It's like it's a redemption arc, and all human souls go on redemption arcs, no matter what it is. And Christianity isn't bleach. You know what I mean? Like Christianity isn't an eraser. It doesn't erase the things that you've done and said, but it does sort of, maybe even performatively, as this is the Libra series, give you the aesthetic of a person who's trying to do good. And even if you're not a good person, even if it's all a show, I, I feel like it's at least good for her career, maybe. I don't know. And as we're talking about Gwen Stefani and her reputation and her career, she's also the Libra rising Capricorn. And Capricorn is the sign of utility, career, destiny, corporations, capitalism, and all those things. And that's her rising. So that's how I feel about Gwen Stefani. Like I've been totally dragging my feet to do this video because I was like, I don't know, like not feeling it, and then some guys like mowing their lawn now or leaf blowing or something. But I was like, I just need to get that out about like the Christianity because I was like, I'm right. And I've been through this break. I've been taking some time to like review my old videos, figure out where the best place for me to record is, where the best sound is, some confirmation. I've done a little bit of research. When I first started this series doing Pisces, I didn't even know what Chapel Roan looked like, and now I'm like a huge Chapel Roan fan. At the beginning of this series, I didn't really understand Virgo or the planet Jupiter in Virgo. I don't claim to know everything, you know what I mean? I just like whatever comes. Like honestly, it's like I could be making these videos about natal charts. I could be making these videos about like those oddly satisfying things, and it's more so about like just opening up the intuitive psychic channel of me talking and finding synchronicities within that, which is like everything, like tarot, astrology, doing a collage. That's just what it is. But so Gwen Renee Stefani, born October 3rd, 1969, is an American singer, songwriter, fashion designer, and actress. She is the co-founder and lead vocalist of the rock band No Doubt. During the band's hiatus, Stefani recorded Love in 1909. In 2009, Billboard magazine ranked Stefani the 54th most successful artist and 37th most successful Hot 100 artist of the 2000s or 2000 decade. I guess that's called the noughties mostly. But since the noughties, I think she's I'm like tired of these like astro chart bios because they are from like 2015. Let's look up her Chinese zodiac sign. Let's look up like a longer bio, and then let's, cause I just like, cause I was doing somebody's video, and I was like, I think they're a guest host or a host on The Voice, but I don't know. I didn't even know who Tracy Ellis Ross's mother was. I was like, who is Tracy Ellis Ross's parents? That's weird. Like, who would be a parent to her? And I was like, oh, Diana Ross. Duh. Yeah, Blake Shelton to The Voice. So she's on The Voice. Her name is Gwen. She's from Fulton, California. Oh, her spouse is Blake Shelton, who I also think is on The Voice. What's that spouse? Oh, yeah. And then there was a Gavin Rosedale. Oh, she has children. Kingston Rosedale. Imagine like being a white person and you're like, oh, my mom used to do like ska and reggae, and now my name is Kingston, and she don't do it no more. Kingston Rosedale, Zuma Nesta Rock Rosedale. She's 5'6". She went to Laura High School, Cypress College, Fullerton College, California State University, Fullerton. I was gonna say California United States, Fullerton. She got a brother, Eric Stefani, Jill Stefani, Todd Stefani. I think Jill might be a sister. I think that one of them was supposed to be in No Doubt or something. Okay, Dennis Stefani and Patty Flynn. These are the people. They're responsible. And she's born in 1969. I should probably have that memorized by now, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like 1969. This is 1968. And then I had my little wheel because I was like trying to be cool. And I was like, let's just be in the future. Okay, the rooster. She's born in the year of the rooster. The earth rooster is associated with the earth element and is known for being precise, studious, and having a sharp critical sense. Individuals born in 1969 are often described as having a flamboyant personality and being excellent organizers, particularly with finances. They are also known for their meticulous nature and interest in humanitarian affairs. So it's like a little bit of Aquarian energy there. There's some Capricorn energy in the rooster. The flamboyant. So I don't know, like to say. So I associate rooster with being Virgo. So to say that Virgos don't dress like traditionally, like you wouldn't associate a Virgo with flamboyant dress. That's my Tinder account. I'm popular. Popular and single. But okay, so that's the rooster. Oh yeah. But then it's like you look at people like Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson, and you're like, okay, those are they're pop stars and two examples of flamboyant Virgos. But I would say that Gwendolyn Stefani is like a pretty flamboyant character. She's like always wearing that bold red lip. But let's get to the show. So she is a Sun Libra rising Capricorn, meaning that she has Capricorn in her first house of her ascendant. So I mean, she looks like a Capricorn. She's on a Capricorn life path, very business minded. Probably gets a lot of self-esteem from the finances of her father. I mean, she has her father's last name. And then what does that mean to like look like a Capricorn? So she also has Mars and Capricorn too. So what does it mean to look like a Capricorn? So to me, to look like a Capricorn is like anything from like very hot, like Americans. It's like so hot that they're ugly and unapproachable, where it's like a limitation. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, like I'm sure guys don't just go up and hit on Gwen Stefani, not because she's not attractive, but like maybe too attractive, or the opposite. And then what does acting like a Capricorn mean? Acting like a Capricorn with Mars and Capricorn, to me, especially in the first house, says that she's very business minded. So like I mean, and that's the thing too. Like as a Libra who's indecisive, to change an aesthetic, because I think like if there's merit in her being a ska performer or a Chicano or trying to carry on like that's my thing too, like her like whole pretending to be Latina is like she's not Hilaria Baldwin, okay? Like she wasn't really trying to dupe us hard, but like is I feel like her trying to carry on Bradley Noel's spirit Was Bradley Noel even that Latino? Who's to say? This isn't a mediumship video, so. But acting like a Capricorn is like maybe look at this thing like acting like a Capricorn is like to act like you don't care about the people that you lost and you only care about business and I don't care about ska. If people aren't buying ska albums, I'm gonna do electro funk, electro punk. I'll start rapping. I'll tap dance. If they start doing foxtrot music, I'll get out the Rudy Valley. So that's kind of her thing. I don't think it's a bad way to be. But that's the thing is like Capricorn is the sign of, like I said, utility. So they're always afraid of people using them because they love to use people. So she's a user. So maybe she just used Bradley Noel to like have this Latina ska aesthetic, whatever. Maybe she was just using the members of No Doubt. Um, because in the early 2000s with the, like It's My Life and everything, like what is the point of a band when you're doing electronic music? You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of there to be models, and they all weren't supermodels. So that's her first house, and it's sad. And then her second house is the house of the resources, finances, the Taurus house, the money house, how she make them coins, to fuel this, Capricorn um, energy that she has. She has Aquarius. So this kind of talks about what that rooster thing was saying about the humanitarianism, about philanthropy. I think she probably has like some charity, the Gwen Stefani Foundation or something that might be lining her pockets as well. It could even be like a thing, like, the Clintons have a foundation, or like if I just started a charity, like, Save the Trees or Save the Whales, and people just start randomly donating, and I might not be putting it all in my pocket, but like, some of it might be benefiting me. Um, and then her third house, she has Pisces. So this says to me that like her upbringing and her environment as a child was probably very spiritual. She's probably very spiritual. She might even like mock spirituality, like "Oh, amen, God bless you," or how like the Kardashians are always like Bible, like whatever that is that she's very sanctimonious and like believes in prayer, which is good. I think it's a really good combination for Libra, who tend to be a little bit like superficial and empty. Um, so she talks like a Pisces. I mean, I could also look up her siblings' birthdays to see if they're like Pisces or Pisces rising, but this would say to me that like her siblings are probably Pisces or spiritual or connected to God. And her fourth house, I feel like so like I don't know because like it's not like Justin Bieber just started a church, but he was like running around with like some like priest guy, and he's a Pisces, like he might become a priest one day. Um, and then yeah, and then so the third house and the fourth house, that talks to me about like your environment, growing up, your childhood. But then also it talks to me about um, yeah, it talks to me about like your home life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so look, I was talking about Flavor Flav, and I think like Flavor Flav had like a third house in Aries, which I was saying like he's from New York, so it's like you got to be aggressive, right? She is from Fullerton, California. So I mean, that's the thing too. Like her form of aggression might be different than his form of aggression growing up. He's like a little guy getting pushed around the streets of New York. She's a little gal, maybe getting pushed around the streets or the dorms of Fullerton College. Maybe there's a lot of like anger around her mother and father. And I typically feel like when a person goes to another culture or seeks validation from another culture, it usually stems from anger at the mother or the father, even as simply as like a football team, right? So like your dad is a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, got the tickets, the merch, and everything, and you're like, no, I want to be a Commanders fan because you want to piss your father off. You know what I mean? Um, so do you see there's like a lot of like anger towards her mother? She might have healed this anger, or she might be like, I know to heal people and their mommy issues, but she still has a lot of mommy issues herself because she also has Chiron and Aries in her fourth house. I mean, she might be like screaming and yelling at that all day. Let's check in on Blake Sheldon. Like he might be getting, he might be getting his butt beat. Her fifth house is so Pisces, Aries. She's from California, so it's like if I didn't know from her bio that she was from California, or hey, maybe she's lying about being from California. Um, like if this was Ben Stefani and I was like looking at his chart and I'd see the third house in Pisces, I would guess like grew up somewhere like Scandinavia or like the Midwest, like Michigan or whatever. Scandinavia, Midwest, Portugal, uh, France, like Pisces places, you know? Jerusalem, the Anwar Temple. I would assume if this was like Ben Stefani's chart, I would be like, oh, you probably grew up someone very spiritual and religious. I've never been to Fullerton, California. Fullerton, California, like Zach De La Roca said, could just be filled with schools and churches. Like there could be a church, there could have been a church, every other house could have been a church in her neighborhood. You know what I mean? It could be a little Jerusalem in California for all I know. But there's also like this anger there. So the fourth house in Aries, I'd be like, oh, America, America, England, France, any little angry red country. And she's white, so I'm sure that she might be. She's white, and I'm pretty sure her hair is not naturally blonde, but I don't know. She could be Scandinavian of some sort. Her fifth house is in Taurus, so as I'm always like, Capricorn has limitations and whatever, and obstacles, or yeah, limitations. I do sort of see the fifth house as obstacles or sexy distractions that you have to get over. Which I don't think you have to get over. It's like, I guess if you want your life to progress, like if you feel stagnant. Where she also has Saturn and Taurus in her fifth house. So when it comes to sex, she's probably like lazy in bed or something, or like eats in bed. Everybody associates Taurus with eating. Everybody associates Taurus with eating and Pisces with being sleepy, but I think they go hand in hand, right? So I was experiencing this current, like right now, June 7th, like Venus was in Taurus and I could not get out of bed. Like you would have literally had to pull me, push me, threaten to beat me. I couldn't get out of bed. And, so to see Taurus in the fifth house of like Saturn, it's like, I think our minds get warped by pornography, and it's just like, you're thinking pornography, you're thinking Xtube and YouPorn and like, stuff like that. But pornography is literally like fantasies and fairy tales marketing. The font face on the Dorito bag being, encoded with like magical things to make you want to eat their like nasty chips. So she's like very, very crushed or very, walled in by like Californication. Not the song, like the concept, like the Showtime television show, like threesomes and parties and drinking. And you can kind of see, like, I feel like when she started to get on The Voice, like everyone was like, oh, she's trying to be a black woman with like acrylic nails and this and that. And I'm like, white women wear acrylic nails. But it's like she gets turned on by things, right? So she sees a Chicana with, the heavy lipstick and the, what do you call it? Our Mother Guadalupe chain on. And she's like, that's hot. That's sexy. I want that. I want that to be my aesthetic. I'm a Libra, you know? So that's kind of, I guess with me, that's her problem, And then even like her turning to Christianity, like she might have seen like Russell Brand baptizing people in his skivvies, and she's like, oh, I want to baptize people in a bikini and put pictures on Instagram and like not make it slutty. And I was doing someone's chart, I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow maybe, and it was like she experiences limitations because like she's a mother. I think she had like Saturn or Capricorn or something in her fourth house, and it's like she wants to be Beyonce, she wants to be a sex object, or she wouldn't mind to be at least once or for a time period or maybe just for in a movie. But like she thinks about like how her children and probably her own mother would like judge her. But for her, I think the limitation is like if she were to be too sexy, like if she were to be like Christine Milian, 16 years old, dancing in a kiddie pool of fucking oil, it'd probably be harder for her to be on network television, doing shows like The Voice and things like that. So maybe the stuff that he tries to think about in balance. And it's like a limitation. So like she might, have problems with like internet porn or something, or addictions, sex addiction. And then in her sixth house, so how did she get over that? So like, how do you get over whatever addictions that she's facing? Food addiction, whatever it is, probably go hand in hand. Uh, they happen, or they, Gwen and Ben Stefani, are supposed to tap into the energies of their sixth house, which their sixth house is in Gemini. So maybe she has like multiple personalities. You never know. Maybe she's like, or maybe she'll say, like, oh, I have dissociative identity disorder. I'm not culture appropriating anything. These are my separate identities. Um, but the sixth house is a focus on health, like health, mental health, physical health, working out, things like that. And then so sixth house Gemini, it's like, okay, Taurus, Saturn, fifth house, maybe like stop, maybe. I mean, Blake Shelton's not necessarily like a cut dude. Like he's not like a muscle god. So maybe she likes like fat bovine guys, um, or is afraid of getting crushed by them or whatever it might be. And whatever these limitations are in her fifth house, how she heals them is through her sixth house with Gemini. It's like talking, singing, being active, being a vocalist as she is. And then her, oh wait, what is this? Fourth house is in Aries, fifth house is in Taurus, sixth house is in Gemini. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I was like, hold on. Sixth house in Gemini, how she heals herself from addictions or stagnation or not feeling attractive enough or feeling too attractive is by working out, talking, singing, dancing as she do. And her seventh house is in Cancer, where she also has the moon, which is like very powerful. She's a very emotional person. I think people are always like, oh, cancers are emotional, cancers are sensitive, they're probably somewhere crying. But I always associate cancers with anger, like being crabby and pissed off. So she might have like some anger issues towards her spouse, or I mean probably too with like she's like a former baby. She got a baby daddy. She got a husband. I mean I'm sure they were married or whatever. Just like saying baby daddy. Okay, Blake Sheldon is a guy. When is his birthday? This is right here. June 18th. June 18th. So come on, class. His birthday is June 18th. What does that make him? It makes him a Gemini, right? June 18th? June 18th? Yeah, June 18th. That makes him a Gemini. I have to keep saying it. And so like June and July are like complicated for me. So June 18th, he's a Gemini, so that means he's his fifth house. I wonder what the other husband was. But so idealistically, like I said, like, if she wants to be like David Bowie, her best match would probably be a Cancer. Probably even like a Cancer female. Maybe she might come out, she might take a dip in the lady pond and date a Cancer woman. But also it's like she is seeking somebody who's like loving and nurturing like a mother. Like she's seeking protection. Because it's like a thing, like if you're a Capricorn, you're a business. Not to say that women or anybody are administrative assistants, but it's like you're not running a doctor's office. I mean, I hate doctor's offices, but like you're not running a doctor's office if you don't have receptionists. You know what I mean? And cancers are sort of like, the pearl inside of a clam. Like they're like the receptionists, helpers, associates, stewardesses. What do you call them? Secretaries. Especially like mutable signs definitely have like that, like I want to help type of energy. Aquarius has like this I want to help type of energy, even though they're not mutable signs. I think Aquarius is like fixed and Cancer is cardinal. But it's like she needs like a mom, or she's like attracted to someone who's like a mom or a maid, not necessarily someone who's cleaning, but like somebody who's like gonna like hug her and like hold her to her bosom, to their bosoms. So that's Cancer in the seventh house. Idealistically, she should be dating a Cancer. Maybe she'll date Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a Cancer. He has money. He used to date Grimes. You never know. She might try to start looking like Grimes one day. I'm a little girl who produced my all of my music on GarageBand, which is awesome because she really is like maybe one of the last GarageBand artists, like from the '80s and stuff like that term, and she's from a fake GarageBand that she went to college. She wasn't like I mean I don't know. You can go to college. It seems whatever, but I talk shit about Gwen Stefani. So she has an eighth house in Leo. So her greatest want, wish, and desire to help her get laid and to be laid to rest and pay her taxes is to be famous, and she is. And then her ninth house, she has Virgo. So she's very educated. She went to college, probably very persistent. I think I saw like multiple colleges there, which is very indicative of that. Okay, the planets, because she got planets at Virgo too. She has. Is this the right chart? Did I say something wrong? Who is this? Okay, this is the wrong person. Okay, I was like, I was looking at Will Smith's chart. I was like, what is this? Okay, so she has Venus in Virgo, not good. She has Venus in Virgo, and she has Pluto in Virgo. Oh, it got confused because I was looking at Will Smith's chart and it said that Mars in Virgo, and I was like, I went on a whole 45-minute rant about how her Mars is in Capricorn. Now it's telling me Virgo. Okay, it's in Capricorn. I was right. So you have Venus in Virgo, Pluto in Virgo, and all of this is happening in her um, ninth house. So Pluto in Virgo in the ninth house, it's like she perhaps when she was in college was very much into like looking like she was in college. You know what I mean? Like the aesthetic. She likes the aesthetic of being a student, sexy like a sexy Catholic schoolgirl type of energy. Especially with like Pluto there, but also I think like maybe like studying or going to school. As she is a Libra, she might Libras are to me uh have like Flintstone bodies. Like they got big legs, big thighs, big feet, like ankles, like big ankles and stuff, sort of like Doja Cat. But she seems a lot more like wispy, maybe she's dieting and this really tapping into that Gemini energy. But this would say to me that like she might like struggle with her weight, which I mean Libra is a sign of weight struggles. Pluto and Virgo, she might struggle with her diet or sticking to some ridiculous diet. Um, so that's her. She has the Sun Libra, Moon in Cancer. We talked about Venus and Virgo. So Venus and Virgo is like you need a matchmaker. Like you pick them wrong, and so like I could say maybe the voice was a matchmaker for her and Blake Sheldon. Maybe she picked him wrong because he's a Gemini. I don't know. Gemini and Libra is pretty compatible, as they're both air signs, so that's like not horrible. But it is like my number one, like, oh, Venus and Virgo, you need someone to help you with picking your spouses, picking your friends, picking your shoes. But she also has Venus in 13 degrees of Virgo and Pluto too. So perhaps she is like to never go to places like Virginia or Pennsylvania or like the East Coast or something, or to live on a farm or like like I see like this thing. It's like Little House on the Prairie or something. Maybe they'll like bring that show back and she'll be a part of it. I'm tasting barbecue sauce. So that's her and her ninth house. And then in her 10th house, which is actually like, so her chart is really great. Like, her being a Sun Libra, rising Capricorn, which is like, you can't really get into like how auspicious a rising sign is in comparison to the Sun sign until you like read the whole chart. Um, so despite, Venus and Virgo and anything else bad that I said, her 10th house being in Libra, her sun is also in Libra, Jupiter in Libra, like, she looks like in Capricorn's ruling house. She looks like a business lady. Business people like her. She's very palatable. She's very lucky. She's not ego driven. It's like she's not ego driven, but she has every right to be. So she might see, if you met a celebrity and you didn't know who they were, and they they toss you valet my car, and they just throw the keys at you. It's like the stuff that they're used to. You know what I mean? So I don't think that she like has ever purposely like tried to put someone down or make them feel less than. I think she just kind of like unwittingly or effortlessly does that. I don't think it's like she's trying to be mean. It's just like it's happening. Jupiter, very lucky. Uranus. So Uranus and Libra, so Jupiter and Libra, it's like lucky in relationships. So Venus and Virgo, bad at choosing relationships. Jupiter and Libra, a lot of good luck in these bad relations with bad people. And I'm sure, when she's doing, I mean, I don't know, like she's doing ska or whatever, dating some 41 lookalikes. Those could have been like her Venus and Virgo age and era. Jupiter and Libra. So Jupiter and Libra is like I said, very lucky in relationships, very lucky in love and partnership. Um, Whenever the sun is in an air sign, it's a lucky time of the year for her. Uranus and Libra, saying that probably herself knocked down a lot of boundaries for women and for herself, to be successful and have a good reputation or a good career. But that's why I think it's so funny. I mean, like, her arc right now, and probably since inception, like the inception of her career, not the movie, um, uh, is like a focus on her. I mean, especially as like being a famous woman. It's like you can't be known as a slut, you can't be known as a whore, you can't be, you don't want to be Susan Boyle, like all these things, right? And me too. I am very proud of Lisa Kudrow and other actresses who are aging naturally, but I think that's a very brave thing. I think it's like a very brave thing to do, a very strong thing to do. Something that she would not be strong enough to do. I don't know why that came up. It just seems like relative to the Uranus and Libra. She probably does have a lot of painful plastic surgery. Libra, Queen of Swords in the tarot deck, probably has a lot of pain, pills to stop the pain and stuff like that. She's a crackhead. Okay, next. And she's a crackhead, and the next house is Scorpio in the 11th house. I don't know. Well, that's what Azealia Banks says, like rich crackheads. So she has Neptune in Scorpio, and it's in her 11th house. This also talks about philanthropy, humanitarianism, how she wants to help people. So she might be like, sucking up everybody's culture, but I don't know, like, Scorpio in the 11th house kind of screams like Black Lives Matter to me. I don't know if her aesthetic dating Blake Sheldon or what she goes about her day to day life screams Black Lives Matter to me, but it's like Black Lives Matter or like African Lives Matter, Egyptians Lives Matter. Like it's like she's really focused on the melanated diaspora or giving charity to them. So maybe she feels a little white guilt for being like such a blonde bombshell or something, and it's woven into her natal chart. But then also Diddy Party, she has Neptune and Scorpio. So why is she like this like great character? Is her singing voice amazing? Sort of, I guess, like a little bit. She has a lot of catchy tunes and bops. But like, I don't think that she's like statistically, she's 5'6", she's bleach blonde. I don't think that she's like statistically um like the best. You know what I mean? I don't think she's the best singer. I don't think she's the best looking. I don't think she's the best talking. I don't think she's the best dressing. She might not think that about herself as well. But how does she get into the door? How does her album, how does she survive while Save Ferris fails? How does she survive while people don't, if you said ska to somebody, they'd probably look back in confusion. She might have went to a Diddy, because of Neptune and Scorpio, so she knows a lot of very like powerful people in the underbelly, and they helped her get onto television and make her way and open the door for her. So I'm not saying that it's exactly P Diddy, but she might know a P Diddy of sorts that helped her get on television and push their band forward. It could have been one of the members in No Doubt. You never know. There's like a lot of players. When you're like in a rock band, I guess, there's like a lot of players, things around you, influencing your astrology, your parents, your brother, your siblings, your brother, notable brother, brother's bandmates, your bandmates, whatever. Okay. And now we're finally at the end. Thank you guys so much for sticking throughout this long. It's not that long. It's actually relatively short compared to the other videos. Long natal chart reading about Gwen Stefani, where I'm feeling very low energy as well, trying to do it, which is crazy because, like, I said, like, there's some videos I'm excited to do it, like LeBron James, and I keep looking at the Dakota founding video thinking she's going to be in it. I don't even have a picture of her on the video, okay? And I'm like, she's going to be in this video. And it's like, nope, just me talking. So I've been like kind of low energy, getting back on the horse after taking a little break and hiatus from recording because it's like I'm trying to make like 2,000 videos here, or 200 or 100 some with the math, which is my plan and my path. And then maybe this is why I'm talking about this 12th house Sagittarius, like me trying to do astrology and connect with God. Not necessarily in a competitive manner, but like in a, putting myself out there. She has a 12th house in Sagittarius. So even that whole rant I just went on about her 11th house, about like, is she the best? Is she the best looking? Is she Miley Cyrus? Because Miley Cyrus could fucking make popsicle statues and we'd all be, goo-gawing at it because she was on the Disney Channel. Walt Disney Sagittarius, Miley Cyrus Sagittarius. And has a very famous father. So she like hates competition. Competition makes her miserable. And if I was looking at her chart and she was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about being a judge on The Voice or starting a Ukrainian men's choir," I'd be like, I know it sounds crazy, but I think the Ukrainian men's choir might make you happier because I think competition makes you upset. And for me, as somebody who don't sing so good, I would love to be Simon Cowell. I'd love to go up there and be like, "You suck, sing Freebird," you know what I mean? To every contestant. But maybe because maybe she's done auditions, maybe she's done sets that didn't go well. She's a performer, she's an artist. Maybe she doesn't like to be the person that, pours water on the flames of another person's dreams or potential career. But that's what I see for Gwendolyn Stefani. We talked about her Chinese sign. She's a rooster. You guys grabbed a beverage. You enjoyed it, I hope. I think I was going to make coffee before this. And I was like, that probably is what I should have done. Because now I'm like, that was super low energy. I didn't grab the beverage. That's my bad. So next video, hopefully I'll have more energy. Maybe this is how Gwen Stefani feels. Maybe she feels very burnt out. She's been performing for a very long time. I was watching a YouTube short before I started recording about Benson Boone, who I believe won The Voice in America or in Scandinavia or somewhere. And it was talking about how, he's very handsome, he's a good singer, but from his own, from himself, he didn't feel like his vocals were enough, and so, he does all the backflips, and he has, really nice outfits. Harry Styles should be, spinning in his living grave, at, Benson Boone's fashion, because he wears, these, really weird, sequined overall pant things, and I'm like, this isn't even gay. This is you know what I mean? I'm like, you need gay people to help you. If you're not Harry, I really feel like a flamboyantly dressed, he might be, I don't know. I think I might have done his chart. But it was I did not like that at all. It's this is not pretty. This is not sexy. I would love to see Harry Styles, keep it thug. I would really love him to just have, a early 2000, 90s, thuggy aesthetic. I know, I'm this video's gonna be super long, it's gonna be super short, and now I'm just kind of ranting about Harry Styles. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this journey about Gwen Stefani and Harry Styles and Benson Boone and Blake Sheldon and Gwen Stefani's family, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for sharing, subscribing. Bye-bye.